Haley and Katie, just to let you guys know, we're having an issue with the YouTube stream. And so as a backup, Bonnie is recording and transcribing the meeting on Teams, just in case that's the only way we can post it on the website later.
Sounds good. Thanks, Heather.
Mhm.
Good morning, Kathy. My name's Hayley. I'm the Director of Planning here at the MD. They're just sorting out the recording or the YouTube live stream, so we're just a few minutes delayed.
Okay, thank you.
Morning, everybody. We'll call to order the October 15th, 2025 MPC meeting at 9:09. Just a quick review of our procedures. We're here to gather information, make a decision on development applications as per bylaw 15/11 as amended. If there's disagreement with any of our decisions, appeals can be made to the Subdivision and Development Appeal Board, and if you wish to do that, you can just speak to administration after this meeting. So everything will be recorded in the minutes by the secretary, and then they will be publicly posted on the MD website. So be cognizant of any information you release. You might want to keep personal information to a minimum. First, we'll hear from administration, then the applicants, then any of the applicants' representatives, and then anybody in the gallery or online who wishes to speak, and if they are affected, and how. Make sure when you're speaking in virtual attendance that you turn your camera on. If you will be speaking, please let us know which item you're speaking to and how you're affected, or if you're an applicant. And if you're speaking on behalf of another individual, please make sure you have documented proof of that. This would be a letter of consent. Moving on to adoption of the agenda. Any changes required? Can I get a motion? Oh, Jenny, sorry. No change. Thank you, Jenny.
I motion to adopt the Planning Commission meetings as amended, because I think they were as presented.
As presented. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Adoption of the Wednesday, September 17th meeting minutes. Any amendments? Yeah. Any motion to approve?
I so move to adopt the minutes from September 17th as amended,
Presented.
presented.
All in favor? Thank you. Carried. There's no business arising from the minutes. There's one development permit issued. We'll accept that for information unless there's any changes or questions on that. Thank you. Development permits, DP 26-06, administration.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Heather Moore. I'm a Planning and Development Officer with the MD, and I will be presenting an application to amend DP 2606. This application, submitted by Kathy Sullivan on behalf of Camp Chamisol, seeks approval for the second amendment to development permit number 2606. Kathy is joining us online today. The subject property is located on Crown land within the Forestry District, approximately 20 kilometers northwest of the summer village of Wyprus. The land is leased to the Western District of the Alliance Canada, and Camp Chamisol operates under their authority. A letter confirming Camp Chamisol's authorization to apply for this amendment was provided in your report. Development permit 2606 was originally approved in 2006 for a phased construction of 6 staff accommodation cabins, with the completion deadline of 2010. Due to funding delays, only 3 cabins were constructed under the original permit. The applicant is now requesting approval to proceed with the remaining 3 cabins as originally proposed. The applicant is requesting an extension to the phased construction schedule, allowing the remaining 3 staff accommodation cabins to be completed by October 31st, 2027. The first of these cabins has already been delivered and installed on site. It is a fabricated unit. It has received an electrical permit and is currently awaiting a development permit to proceed with the building permit process. The cabins are used for staff sleeping quarters and personal storage during summer camp operations only. They're equipped with electricity, but do not have running water. Staff have access to other facilities on site for meals and washrooms. Originally, the cabins were permitted to be located as close as 16 meters from the western lease boundary. This was later amended in 2006 to allow 2 cabins to be placed within 5 meters of the boundary. With the availability of updated GIS and aerial imagery, it has now been determined that the newly placed cabin is situated approximately 3.5 meters from the property line. The lease boundary line. The applicant is therefore requesting a further relaxation of the side yard setback to reflect this placement. This represents an 88% variance from the standard 30-meter setback requirement. Section 41.3.4 of the Land Use Bylaw permits MPC to grant such a relaxation on Crown land, provided it does not adversely affect adjacent lands due to the remoteness and low intensity of the development in the area. There are no private adjacent landowners surrounding the subject property. As such, standard notification procedures were replaced with referral to the designated land management specialist overseeing provincial land use in this area. Referral responses were received from both the MD Bighorn Protective Services and the land management specialist. Neither expressed concerns with the proposed amendment. The Fire Safety Codes Officer conducted a site visit on August 25th, and the applicant has obtained a temporary field authorization from the land management specialist to add these cabins. Just as a side note, in the referral to the land management specialist, there was detailed maps of where these cabins are located in relationship to the lease boundaries. As the application aligns with the MD's land use bylaw and the municipal development plan, and no objections were received from referral agencies or internal departments, Planning and Development Services recommends that the Municipal Planning Commission, acting as the development authority, approve development permit number 2606, amendment number 2, to extend the phase construction schedule of 3 staff accommodation cabins to October 31st, 2027, and to increase the west side yard setback variance to allow the 3 cabins to be situated up to 3.5 meters from the boundary line. That's my report, and I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Bonnie. Any questions from commissioners? Go ahead, Kelly.
Thanks, Heather. I'm just wondering if this is considered a valid development permit at this point, given that it's been over 10 years since the last completion of the 3 cabins.
Okay, so the amendment to the original DP is an amendment to a condition of that development permit. So this, it would be valid in terms of the fact that we are not requesting a new permit. We are just requesting an amendment to a condition that was part of a previous permit.
I guess my further question to that would be, it's kind of my understanding that we have the right to extend a valid development permit. So I think I need to better understand if the time of this development permit has already lapsed, or because the entirety of the 6 cabins were not completed at that time, if the development permit lapsed because they didn't get to complete the original 6 within the time that they were given from 2006 to 2010.
Yeah, that's a good question. So we basically had options with this situation. The development permit could have been we could have started from scratch with a new development permit, which we felt would have been a bit much in terms of required information, since we already had all of that information. And then we could extend it based on the fact that there's a condition within the development permit. Within the original development permit, typically if a development permit, when it expires, will have an expiry date at the bottom. This particular date was a phased construction scenario. So we do have several options on how we could handle this. We felt this was the most efficient way to approach it.
Last and final question.
Sure.
Phased construction, meaning that there wasn't necessarily an expiry date on the bottom of this DP originally. It was more it's complete when the 6 are finalized.
Correct.
Understood. Thank you.
Yes. And just to be clear, the applicant can speak to this if she'd like, but the camp is nonprofit, so they do depend on donations for the funding of these cabins. And so the lack of donations were what delayed everything.
Absolutely. And I have no problem with that. I just didn't quite understand the,
Yeah, sure.
I understood that DPs had the final date, so I wasn't quite understanding where the final date was and how that was kind of being introduced, but now I understand. Thanks for the clarification.
You're welcome. As well, just development permits do run with the land as well.
And had we had the applicant go through the process again, there would have been additional fees. So I'm just thinking if,
Yeah.
you know, that's another consideration because they're a non-for-profit. If they're having issues raising funds, we don't want to incur
Yeah,
or
they-
impose more hardship on them from that point of view.
Yeah, they paid an amendment fee versus an application fee.
Anything else? Go ahead, Paul.
Question. I think you said the setback would be 3.5 meters. I just wanted to make sure that I heard it correctly.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir, that's correct. Yes, sir.
Anything further? Okay. Ms. Sullivan, did you want to speak to your application?
No, I think Heather is represented very well. Thank you.
Thank you. There's obviously no representatives or public. Any other questions from before I ask for a motion? Can I have a motion?
I motion to approve the extension of DP 2606. Is that right?
All in favor?
Sorry, guys, that's going to be motion to approve amendment number 2.
I motion to approve amendment number 2 in DP 2606.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you, everyone. And Ms. Sullivan, you can leave the meeting if you want. Your application's been approved, so thank you for your attendance. You can also stay if you want.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. I'm grateful.
Development permit 2025-045. Administration, please.
Good morning. Can everyone hear me okay?
You go ahead, Katie.
Perfect. So good morning, everyone. My name is Katie Stewart. I'm the Planning and Development Officer with the MD of Bighorn's Planning and Development Services Department. So I'll be presenting development permit application 2025-45. This application is submitted by the MD of Bighorn, specifically on behalf of our Public Works Supervisor, Al Hogarth. The land owner is the MD of Bighorn. It's located at 91001 Highway 1A, which is the new MD operations building. The legal description is Plan 2511044, Block 4, Lot 1. And it's located within the Rural Industrial District, which I'll refer to as RI throughout this presentation. This application is for the relocation of 3 shipping containers. Each are roughly around 9.3 square meters in size or 100 square feet, with a standard height of 2.59 meters or 8.5 feet. So the proposal includes a rear yard setback variance to the required 8 meters. So it'd be going down to 1 meter. So it would be an 87.5% reduction in the rear yard setback. For site context, the property is surrounded by provincial crown lands to the southeast and northeast parcels. Greymont, Western Canada is located at the southeast and northeast parcels. And then CP Rail and the Bow River are to the south. The site is accessed directly off of Highway 1A and is well separated from any residential areas. The 3 containers are currently located at the old Exshaw Public Works Yard, which is on Mount Allen Drive in Exshaw, where they were originally approved under development permit number 34/14. The intent is simply to relocate them to the new operations building for better logistics and to create space in the existing yard. These containers are used to secure and store disaster response and emergency preparedness equipment. So there's items like water pumps, hoses, cots, blankets, reception center and emergency operation kits, and other related materials. They provide weather protection and secure storage for these materials and will be placed within a fenced portion of the yard. There's photos within the agenda package showing the containers in their current condition, and they would remain the same. As mentioned previously, the parcel is designated as R1 under the land use bylaw 09Z/18. In this district, shipping containers are listed as permitted use when they meet the criteria under section 4.18, which has specific regulations for shipping containers. To quickly summarize those, containers must meet the minimum setbacks for accessory buildings. They can't exceed the district height limits. They must be maintained in good condition or screened from view, and they're treated as accessory buildings when used for storage. In this case, the containers are not visible from Highway 1A. There's no stacking being proposed. The height of each container is well below the 15-meter maximum for the R1 district regulations, and they'll be maintained in good condition. So the proposal meets all of this section with the exception for the rear yard setback. For reference, the standard setbacks in this district are 10 meters to the front yard, 6 meters to the side yard, and, oh, sorry, I'm reading that wrong. Oh, no, I am reading that right, sorry. Yes, so 6 meters to the side yard, rear yard is 8 meters, and the height limit is 15 meters. The proposed container is about 90 meters from the front yard setback, 30 meters from side yard, and then as mentioned previously, it's being proposed that it be 1 meter from the rear yard setback. So for this variance, administration is suggesting that section 41.3.1 of the land use bylaw be applied in this case, which states that the development authority may approve a development that does not comply with this bylaw if it does not unduly interfere with the amenities or use of neighboring lands, and 2, it conforms to the intent of the land use district. So this authority mirrors the provisions that are outlined in section 646 of the Municipal Government Act, which allows municipalities to incorporate this type of variance power within your land use bylaw. Therefore, in this case, administration believes those conditions are met. The variance is being requested primarily for logistical and operational reasons to maximize the usable space within the new yard and allow for efficient loading and unloading during emergency responses. The site is fully industrial in character and isolated from residential areas, so there's no concerns regarding visual impact or land use conflict. The variance itself is 87.5% reduction, which does exceed the typical 30% threshold normally allowed under section 41.3.3C, which is something for MPC to take into consideration. Under the title review and referrals, administration reviewed the title, which lists a few standard instruments. One is an old CP rail survey, and then there's 2 Fortis Alberta utility right-of-way agreements. None of these affect the proposed container locations. We received verification from Fortis Alberta that they have no objection or concerns of the location of the containers. Referrals were also circulated to Alberta Transportation and Economic Corridors, which also had no objections and stated that we would be exempt from a roadside development permit. Notices were sent out on October 2nd of 2025 to adjacent landowners, both by email and regular mail, to comply with the Municipal Government Act and the Land Use Bylaw. Because of ongoing postal strike, email delivery was completed to ensure timely notification. No objections were received from any adjacent landowners, which would be Alberta Transportation, CP Rail, Greymont, and the land management specialist with the province. Verification from Alberta Transportation was received, and the land management specialist stated that the province had no concerns. To summarize, this use is permitted within the R1 district. The proposal complies with all the shipping container regulations in section 418, with the exception of the rear yard setback. The variance is being sought for operational efficiency. The location is not visible from public roads or neighboring residencies. No objections were received from adjacent lands, and the variance, while large in percentage, does not conflict with the intent of the district or pose any public safety concerns. Overall, the application is consistent with the intent and purpose of the Land Use Bylaw and the Municipal Government Act. Administration therefore recommends that the Municipal Planning Commission approve Development Permit 2025-04 for the relocation of the 3 shipping containers, and approve a rear yard setback variance from 8 meters to 1 meter. This concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Katie. Any questions from commissioners? Yeah, go ahead.
Are these considered permanent structures?
They're being treated as accessory buildings, so I would say yes, they would be permanent, but they are able to be relocated easily with the fact that they are shipping containers.
Thank you.
Further questions? Motion, please.
I motion to approve development permit 2025-045 with the 1 meter rear yard setback as presented.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
There are no subdivision applications. There's no new business. Next meeting is Wednesday, November 26th at 9 a.m. There's no need to change that for any reason, I believe. Excellent. Can I get a motion to adjourn? All in favor? Thank you. Adjourned at 9:34. Thanks, everyone.